Ah! Oh no! It's been 20 minutes of stream and you couldn't hear me? Thank you, Yaza. I've just been sitting here talking about my duplication layers and the reflection ruler, and it's fine. It's fine. I was also talking about how I'm tired. I don't know what happened. Usually everything's set up correctly, but for some reason the mics in my the mics in OBS desynced. You are correct, Yosa. This is fine. It's fine. Anyway, Yaza, how is school going? Or have you started yet? You didn't notice the VTuber. Oh. Oh, you're in week 3. Okay. And you have 1 course. A history class with no quizzes. Just attendance and participate. Okay. You know what? I was really bad at those kind of classes. Because I didn't really show up to my classes. Unless I had to. One of my classmates was my coworker, because we worked in event services together on campus. And she's like, you have to go to class. And she made me go. We would go eat lunch together, and then after lunch we would go to class together. And to be honest, I did like that class. So I'm glad I did go, and it was a science fiction. It was like a 300 level Is it 300 level? It's a 300 level English course based on science fiction. And the thing about a lot of the courses at my college anyway is unless they had a prerequisite, anyone could go to or sign up for those classes. So because it was science fiction, there's actually a lot of non-English majors in my class. The other thing I should note is 300 level English courses, like 300 level any courses in a specific field of study, you're expected to know about it already, which, like, if you don't really know anything about English lit, like critical theory, those are usually taught in the 100 levels, maybe 200 levels, but in a 300 level course, you're expected to already know that. So I was like the only English major in his class, in my professor's class. And everyone else is like computer science or basically any of the sciences. I think there was one other person in, I think, women's studies, and then my coworker, she was studying Chinese language. But he really wanted to discuss the broader theories, like literature theories, and apply them to science fiction. I think that's why he created the course in the first place, especially because, and I did learn a lot from his class, especially because he wanted to talk about early colonialism, that basically early science fiction is just colonialism redressed. And he really wanted to talk about that, and then how it really moved into like these queer colored spaces. But like no one else in class knew what colonialism was. And so he would start talking about it, and then they'd be like, wait, what's colonialism? You haven't taught us. And he's like, you're already supposed to know this. You're not supposed to be in my class if you don't know. He was not happy. Because also they wanted him to explain modernism and postmodernism, which of course isn't just an English, a subject in English. They are movements that are primarily usually associated with art, but they happen also in literature because literature is an extension of art. They want him to explain that, and he's just like, ah! So usually, a lot of the times, she would make me come to class, and then when he had class discussions, because normally I didn't participate in class discussions, I was like, for him, I will participate in class discussions. I think he really wants someone to talk to that already understands these like basic literature theories and ideas. Poor guy. Yeah, I had a similar problem when I took, because I was going to minor in art history. I ended up not, because I needed, the last credit I needed for my minor, it was a horrible class. It was a 100 level Japanese art class, and if you haven't taken an art history course before, it's a lot of sitting in a dark room and looking at slides. And most of my professors and teachers, because I've taken art history at like several different education levels, most of them understand this. And a lot of them will try their best to, if class is not super engaging, they're like, if you fall asleep, it's fine. And then for our finals or our tests, a lot of them would actually like, this is what we're going to have on the test. And that's because art history tests are actually pretty hard, because a lot of times they want you to not only recognize the piece of art, you have to name it, date it, who created it, so the artist. And then sometimes you will also have to write mini essays about the themes, the overarching themes and ideologies and the history of the creation of it. So a lot of my art history professors are like, this is exactly what's going to be on the test. These 20 paintings, memorize them. And this Japanese course was the first one I took where she's like, anything we talked about could be on your final. And we're talking about like months of lectures at this point. And also it's a Japanese course, so it's a lot of Japanese artists and pieces of art that aren't really, they aren't really well known in the West. They aren't really talked about. So, you know, unlike when I was taking Baroque classes, like I had an understanding of Baroque artists and some of those pieces. I'm talking about like postmodernism. I think a lot of you, if you don't know a postmodernist piece, you probably actually do, because they're actually very much part of our collective cultural conscious, like the toilet, and the Duchamp's toilet, and like, is this a pipe? Anyway, yeah, the Japanese art professor was like, here's like 50 to 60 things you might need to know for your final, and like I bombed my final. And I was like, I can't. Oh my god, it's so much. I didn't bomb it that hard, but like I just barely didn't. I passed the class, but I didn't pass it with a high enough grade for it to count towards my minor. And it was like the last 5 credits I needed. And they're like, well, do you want to stay on for another quarter? Like, do you want to pay for another quarter of college, or do you just want to graduate with your English major? And I was like, I'm just going to graduate with my English major. Like, I cannot imagine sticking around for 5 more credits. I kind of regret it now. I wish I had done just one more class to get my minor, just to say that like I have it. So when I talk about art history and, you know, art movements, it doesn't sound like it's coming out of my ass. Like, I actually did study it. And not only did I study art history, I studied like general Western history too, in tandem with English literature. I did focus a lot of like European, like British and American literature. And I studied those 3 together because honestly, those 3 subjects like really influence each other. Yeah, I mean, I was just shocked. It was like 100 level art history course too. So I was just really shocked at how like unforgiving it was. Because again, art history classes, like, they're not easy. They're pretty difficult, and usually 100 levels are a lot more hand-holdy, right? But like, I was taking like 300 and 400 level art history courses, and they were much nicer and much more forgiving than this like 100 level. I was just whatever. But yeah. I guess she did. I had never taken an art history course from her before. But truthfully, when you get into art history, you're pretty specialized. So I don't think she taught anything outside of Japanese art, which makes sense. Because I feel like maybe some of the art history professors that studied, like my Baroque art history professor, he probably has a decent understanding of Renaissance art. Just because those two, I don't want to say that they're like partnered, but because Baroque came right after Renaissance, and a lot of influences, and you know, there's a lot of comparisons between Baroque and Renaissance. I hated you. Well, my whole starting point was to say that I took a women in art course, because obviously that's a very niche subject, because for a long time there really weren't women artists, because women weren't allowed to be trained as artists. And a lot of the early women artists we see is because of nepotism. Their dad taught them. Like Artemisia, her dad was a pretty well-known artist, and he taught her. And she's honestly a really great artist. I know that her work's been getting a lot more notoriety these last couple of years because she always depicts women not as delicate little flowers that women were often depicted as during that time and after, but especially during that time. There's a lot more, I don't know if violence is the right word, but a lot more activity in her female subjects. But when I took that class, like, I had several years of art history, education, and there's a self-portrait that Artemisia did with her in a window looking down, watching a couple stroll. And in my opinion, it may be her depicting how by choosing this life as an artist, she has given up the traditional life that most women have, which is to get married and be in a partnership. And it could be her just talking, like, depicting that loss, even though, I assume that she was happy with her choice, but it doesn't mean that you don't have regrets or you don't explore that kind of loss either. And I made some other women in my class very angry because, obviously we want to put a really, like, pro-feminist spin on these female artists because it is, what they're doing is very feminist to be artists during that time when they shouldn't be. But I just remember my professor being like, yeah, there's some more nuance than just, like, girl power. And so I feel like in that class too, like, I had to help out my professor because there's just a lot of people taking this course that didn't really have an understanding of, like, Renaissance and Baroque artists and culture. Because a lot of the other people, because everyone takes a 100 level course, which is usually talks from the Stone Age to postmodernism. And you're doing that in like 4 months, so obviously it's really quick and you don't spend a lot of time on each section. And I feel like a lot of the people that are taking this women in art course were probably focusing on modernism and postmodernism, and maybe didn't spend a whole lot of time in like Renaissance and Baroque. Yeah. What did you do to European art, professor, though? Yeah, so what did you do? Easy went to the bathroom. Yeah, I was like, how dare you? Yeah, I was like, how dare you go to the bathroom? Wait, the paper got too wet? Um, I remember my English capstone, so my senior thesis. Obviously, since I just told you guys about my extensive history in like art study, I took and my senior thesis was based on literature being art. But my professor for that course was very insistent that we didn't know or couldn't quantify what art is, which is not true. And I had to pretend that we couldn't, even though I know we could, because every art history course you take, it's critical theory on art, and you are allowed to have opinions on art. That's the whole point of like the modernist movement. I mean, not the whole point, but a lot of like Dadaism and modernism and postmodernism is, you know, talking about like expectations and subverting them, and a lot of them are public displays, so you're obviously getting the public involved, and so you are allowed to have opinions on art. Whether or not they are informed opinions, that's a little bit like of a different subject, but you're still allowed to have them. And she tried to fail me because my original thesis was arguing how literature is art and how we define that. And she's like, well, we don't know. And I'm like, but we do know. Like, I've taken several years of art history courses to know that we can have an opinion on art. Like, oh, your paper got what? You have to hide your paper. Like, because that, like, where obviously I live in Seattle and it drizzles, and when it rains and you print out your paper, you have to hide your paper. Like, you put it in your coat, you put it under your shirt. Like, you can't get it wet. You have to run with it. Fold your backpack, something. Anyway, that professor, she was really cool, but I was kind of annoyed that, like, it's like, just because you don't have an understanding of art doesn't mean, like, and I even told her, because I actually switched to her course already into the quarter, and I had to give a reason why I was switching in, and I told her, I was like, I've been studying art history for like 4 years, you know, and I feel that having a discussion about literature being art, like, yeah, like fine art, I can have that discussion. Like, that's basically what I've been learning. So yeah, I just I had to pretend that I didn't have an opinion and that I didn't know, and I got a 4.0 in the class, and that was annoying, but like, also I was there to get good grades. You ran fast enough. Yowza! Did you ninja run? If you did your ninja run, the Naruto run, you might have made it. Ah. Yeah, so that's great. Yeah. That's amazing. I might have to switch over. No, I think it'll be fine. Okay. I was like, do I need to switch over to the other side? Is it going to show more hair over there? I think I'm okay. You wore white courier shit. Oh my god, yes! That's amazing though. I mean... In high school, there was this group that I was hanging out with right after we graduated, and one of the guys in it, he really liked to be fashionable, or he really cared about his appearance, which is good. And he would like really think about his outfits. And one night we were hanging out, because he wore this green shirt that had white detailing on it, so he wore white pants with it. And then we went to hang out, I think at a park or something. And of course he sat down, and because he sat down, like, his pants got super dirty. And so, yeah, of course, when he sat back up, when we got up, it definitely looked like he pooped himself. Too dangerous, yeah. Okay, and let's extend. We're gonna extend this way past, just in case. So in high school, you had a uniform code, and your khakis ripped, and there's a big hole between your triply. You would have gotten detention if it was not fixed. Dan also went to he went to a private school, and so he had to wear a uniform, and that's why he hates ties. He's willing to wear ties now, but I do remember for a long while there, after he left high school, he just refused to wear a tie. I mean, probably with your Asian upbringing, that makes sense to me. Where he lived, it was, at least the way he explains it, is that if you wanted a decent education, your parents put you in private school. So that's why he was in private school. Versus where I lived, the private school was not good. So I went to public school. And I think I told you guys before, my school was huge. Yeah, I think when Dan and I talked about it, like, I feel like I've mentioned this before too, that his class was like 20 something and mine was like 200, and yeah. Is that Dan? Oh, Dan's messaging me. He's like, there's a hilarious conversation on Out of the Loop subreddit where one person thinks that if Eastern Washington split off, Seattle would starve because we wouldn't have any more food. That's right. All of Washington State only gets its food from Washington State and like nowhere else in the country. People are amazing. That's special for sure. Gee, I wonder where all the food comes from. Not that, like it gets sent to a company and like processed and then that company distributes it everywhere. Like, no, we only eat food that comes from our own state. This is why Idaho only eats potatoes. And not that McDonald's uses specifically potatoes from Idaho for all its french fries. People are unique. Idaho would be your favorite place? Yeah. Oh dear. So Dan says that person does not understand how like tax dollars work essentially, and that they're CPA. um, like apparently they don't understand that that taxes are distributed. I don't know, like, okay, growing up in Eastern Washington, I'm sure any of you who live in like really red areas that were constantly like angry about the blue sections of their states, especially because, you know, more progressive areas tend to be bigger cities. We were always talking about how like, oh, they can't survive without us, but we can survive without them. And it wasn't until I like moved away and actually had kind of a better understanding about how like funding works, that I understood how taxes are distributed and collected, and I really don't think it takes much to understand that the bigger population pays more, like more taxes are collected from that area. Let's see. Wow, it almost already got to like an hour. That's exciting. Even though I spent the first 20 minutes muted. Oh. No, it's okay. I mean, how dare you? How dare you not notice and not tell me? You know, at least your phone is charged. There's a new diamond art kit I'm thinking about getting because it's 50% off. But so the reason it's 50%, I'm gonna show it to you guys. And you'll understand why I want to get it. Okay, so what happened is it got rendered for diamond art, for the diamond art painting at the wrong size. So that's why it looks a little bit more pixelated. No, my Ninja Turtles is not sufficient. So this is a 22 inch by 32 inch, and it was really meant to be a couple inches bigger than this. So, but this already went into production, and they decided like, well, we have this product, we'll sell it half off, And then the actual size we want it at, well, we're going to release it in June at full price. So I'm debating on if I want to get this one that's half off, even though it isn't as big and doesn't look as nice as the one that's coming out later in June, or if I just want to wait to get the one in June, because this one I would actually like to put on the wall. Frame it, put it on the wall somewhere. Yeah, this is so it's Yume, like their art's really good. It's amazing. They have another one, another Kiki fan art that we've been voting on that I hope it gets picked up too. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Like, do I want to pick up this one that's half off? Like, it's $35, which is like great for this side. Both. No, I can't get both. So do I want this one that's $35, or do I want, because the other one's going to be $80 when it comes out. I mean, I could. No, I'm not going to get both. I have to get one or the other. So either get this one that's a little bit smaller and it's like more pixelated up in here. Or actually let me, because they actually showed us what the correct size should look like. So let me get that. So here's the one that's 50% off right now. Yeah, I was thinking about waiting too. And it really doesn't look bad. It's still pretty nice, but this is what the new version is going to look like, the bigger one. So it's not as pixelated, the colors are a lot smoother. They decided to up it to like 81 colors for this one. The previous one's like 60 something. I thinking about waiting for this one, just again, it's going to be $80 versus this one that's like $35. And still looks really nice, but this one does look nicer. I'm really hoping I can get it though. I'm hoping it doesn't sell out before I can get it. Since I'm like a Ruby tier Diamond Art Club customer, I can buy 90 minutes before or not 90, 30 minutes before the general public. I'm just wondering if I'll be able to do it. I was laughing because I was reading someone who, there's a tier above Ruby and it's Diamond. And you have to spend like $500 to get to Diamond tier. And they managed to get to Diamond tier in a month and a half. And I'm like, what? I mean, I'm trying really hard not to spend like, because it's like you have to spend that much in a year, and every year you have to spend that much to keep your tier. But yeah, this person managed to spend like $500 in a month and a half, and I'm just like, how? Ruby tier is like 300. Is it 300? Yeah, Ruby tier is like 300. And that took me like, 4 or 5 months. And then it wasn't even just me purchasing stuff. I got a lot of free points, too. So like, I was just sitting there, I was like, how did you do this? And I was telling Dan about it. And I was just sitting there, and I was just like, how am I like, Dan, what would you think if I spent like $500 in a month and a half on diamond art? Like, I already think that I spend too much money on it. I guess it's not too much. I could be spending a lot more, I guess. I don't even want to think about where I'm going to put it. Like, I do have a big portfolio that I've been putting the finished ones in, but some of them I really do intend on, I would like to frame them and put them on the wall. I'm really trying to buy the ones that I really like. There are some that I have thought about buying or on my wish list because I thought they'd be really fun to do. I totally get what David's saying though about return investment though, or what I'm going to do with them, because Dan was trying to make the argument about, like, you know, you can do this because I build Gunpla, and I was like, yeah, but you know, we display our figures. Like, you can display your Gunpla. We have tons of room, like cabinets for that purpose. It's really hard to display these giant, like, poster-sized diamond art canvases, and a lot of them I wouldn't even display. I just have them. I have them because I think they'd be fun to do. Like, they have a lot of colors and stuff. Yeah, he's still really busy with work. He didn't get to interview for the promotion that he wanted, unfortunately, which really sucked. But then the manager came to talk to him about it and pretty much said that, like, there was over 70 applicants and a lot of them were, like, in the industry for a really long time. So a lot of, I'm sure you guys have heard about the layoffs, like, all across the tech industry. It was a lot of people from those layoffs. And the guy was like, a couple years ago, if you had applied, you probably would have at least interviewed for it and probably would have maybe gotten it. But because there's just such a huge influx right now, the competition is, like, a lot. So I think I hope that made Dan feel a little bit better about it, but yeah. He still hates commuting into work. Yeah, and the thing, at least, like, that we've talked about, at least Dan's job is very secure. It would be really, really surprising for him to ever get laid off. I mean, yeah, no one likes their commute. I mean, the thing about, since he used to work from home, and then they moved his team to a different org, and their organization's like, no, everyone works in the office. When you work from home, it was fine that we lived, like, 40 to 50 minutes away from the office. But since they moved the orgs, it's less okay that we live so far from the office. But yeah, we're still discussing on like moving to either closer or where he could get to a commuter bus. If you didn't know, I can't imagine Microsoft is the only company that does something like this, but they have a commuter bus system for their employees that they can use to get to campus. Yeah, they're only in certain areas though. So we've discussed if we moved closer to one of those, if that would be feasible, because right now it is not feasible for us to have 2 cars. So we only have 1 car and Dan's using it right now. And like, that's why I have decided not to get like an office job or something like that, just because we would have to pay for a whole other car and then find a place to put it. Because right now there's not a good place for us to store a second car. It would require probably a lot of street parking, and all of our neighbors have 2 cars. Or they usually have more than 1 car, so there's just a fight over the communal spots for everyone's second car. Which is funny because honestly, almost all of us have 2-car garages too. We've converted half of our 2-car garage into storage because I couldn't get in and out of that side of the garage. Because they put our units right next to the garbage cans, the big dumpster, and half the time people don't close the gate properly, and it's also kind of on this corner, so you can't just back out very well. So we decided we would just convert that half of our garage into storage, and which is fine because we have 1 car. And so talking about having 2 cars, we're like, well, we really don't have a place for a second car. Oh, at least for Dan, he has parking. They have assigned parking spot, or not assigned parking spots, but they have parking for everyone. And I think you can pay for a better spot, but yeah. So if we got a second car, I would need to fight. I would need to fight with our neighbors on where I'm going to park it. Because again, we have communal spots for visitors. So I'd have to go fight with our neighbors for those spots, because obviously visitors don't use them, we do. Or park on the street. I feel like parking in Chinatown is always hard. But anyway, that's why I also really did put off seriously looking for another job, because there was a little bit there where I was thinking about it. And then, because all the jobs that I would like to apply for or I'm qualified for, they're all in person now. So there's that. If we moved to a place, if we either moved closer and Dan's commute wasn't very far, there's a possibility we would have room for a second car, and then maybe we would get one. or if we moved to a place that was closer to a commuter bus, he could either maybe take a bus to the commuter spot, or I could drive him there, and then I could have a car for the day to go run errands. The reason right now he's not taking the bus to work is because we actually don't live close to a bus stop. Like, we thought we did, but then we found out that the buses that run next to our street, they only run for like 2 hours. The other possibility is when they're putting in the train. It's called the light rail here, but it's essentially a big train that's supposed to help with commuting. It's not up in our area yet, but when it is, I could take Dan there, because it's actually not the station is not going to be that far away from where we live. And then I could have a car. It's just right now we're in this interim period where I don't have access to the car during the week. Dan has to be in the office, so he has it, and then he has like a 40 to 50 minute commute, which ends up being like close to a 2-hour commute every day. So that's where we're at. And then of course the other problem is looking at, well, if we moved closer or if we moved to a spot with a commuter bus, we need a lot of money. Like, it is very expensive to live close to Microsoft. Yeah, I mean, we've had one car for like our entire relationship, because I would drive to work and then Dan would take the bus because we lived near bus stops. This is the first time where we have not lived by a really accessible one. And again, we thought we were when we moved here. Like, because we were like, oh, there's some bus stops here. And then we're also in these positions where there is actually a bus station not that far from us, but it's just far enough that it's not walkable in bad weather. But it's just close enough that it would feel bad to like drive or ride share to it. Yeah, I was like, I didn't really think, because we didn't think much about it, because, you know, Dan was working from home, so we didn't really look into like the buses and how they were going to and from here. And then when they're like, oh yeah, you have to be back in the office now, and I was like, oh, well, let's double check the buses again. And then we did, and we're like, oh. Like, oh, this sucks. So anyway, Dan and I are trying to win the lotto now. That's the plan. You broke. You did break it. Now it's just stuck there forever. Okay, and then we're gonna this one here. You won't be able to see a lot of this skirt because of the frame. Oh man, my VTuber is like freaking out. I didn't even realize that. Because I have my head turned a certain way to get a... I don't know why. Like, to get a better view of my... my screen. But the thing is, like, I could just rotate it. I'm being lazy not rotating it. Is it still giving you stars? Like, is it actually counting those? Yes. That's amazing. That's hilarious. You cheater. Let's see. I really would like to finish up the lines here. I really like to do that, but my wrist is starting to hurt a little bit, but let's give it a go. Let's just keep going. I feel like I'm in the groove right now. It's okay, little slime me. I'm just moving my face around. Oh, I guess I should have. It would have tracked my face a lot better if I had turned my light on. There we go. I'll turn my light on. Then you can track my face a little better. I've noticed that usually I only put my not key light on when I'm using my face cam, but when it is a little dark, it does help my webcam for tracking my VTuber face tracking, which that makes sense. Yeah, I was just trying not to have so many things on. Hmm. That's better. And we'll do the hair piece, but let's lighten this to make it a little bit easier to see. Okay. And then I have to put the goggles in. Tarkin, are you over there being loud again? Making your hacking noises for my stream. Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Tarkin. Tarkin buddy, are you okay? Are you? He's been Tarkin. I'm gonna have to talk to Dan about this. He fell off the bed this morning because he likes to be where the comforter isn't if you let him. And Dan didn't pull his comforter back over on his side of the bed, so it was just bed sheet. And Tarkin went over there. It was a very small space. Tarkin tried to squish himself into it. And I woke up to a big thump because he fell off the bed trying to get into that little space. This freaked me out because, he's a little dog. And I'm pretty sure falling off the bed could hurt him. But hang on. I think he needs to go potty and he's trying to escape. Tarkin, come back! I'll be right back. Tarkin, come back! Okay. Tarkin is pottied. Let's try and finish up the hair here. Let's see. I used to really like doing hair, but I feel like my skills at drawing hair have really been lacking. I just think it could be bigger and fluffier. I'm gonna see if I can get some better shading. And when I do the coloring, and then maybe it'll turn out better. Or how I want it to look anyway. Woo! hand got caught there. You know what I need? I just need a hair stamp brush. Just forget drawing my own hair. We'll flip it around. We'll go to this side. Oh, no, I'm here. Hi. I actually turned on the wrong mic, but no, I'm here. Oh, probably because they hear me like to myself. It doesn't help that I'm a mouth breather, so my VTuber cam is just like your mouth's open, like all the time. Hi, Tarkin. Ooh, that line's way off. Okay. Let's get these back in here. Okay, so we're gonna make some layer. Oh no! I didn't finish her pigtails down here. Oops. Well, let's do that really quick. Turkey, would you stop? It's going around outside, knocking everything over. Okay. Now we are going to make some layer masks here. So I can erase without actually getting rid of the lines. Okay. So we have that there. I did not draw her hair down far enough. I don't know how I managed to do that. let's get the frame back in here. So I can see where I'm erasing here. Do I want the bow to go over the frame or not? I don't think I do. So erase that there. And then here. Let's see here. This gets erased, this gets erased, this gets erased. Leave that there too, and this. I have to repeat on this side. Like, where are these lines going? Okay. And then it gets erased here and here. And then here. actually think this all gets erased here. You can just see my little slime face like going crazy here. Okay. Make another layer mask. Goes in like that, and then that. Okay. We have that. And then here. This frame here. Let's go in and do some more erasing. Thanks for coming by. %. Okay. Okay. So that's pretty cleaned up. And I'll go to this side. Okay. Not much more left to clean up here. Okay. This is bodies. This is hair. And this is ribbon details. Something like that, anyway. Hi, Valerie Madraws. How are you doing? Okay. That's line work. Oh my goodness. I'm excited that it's done. I might go back in here. Let's see. Ha 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 ha. This is very exciting for me. I wonder. I do just that. B-Chan, why are you still here? B-Chan, what are you doing? I do that. Huh, okay. I guess it's decided with some of these gaps. I did, thank you. I'm trying to figure out the easiest way. I have this and this. Can I really not? Okay. Is there a way to just hide the mask? Okay, if I disable it and do this. Okay. And then why? Erase that. Excuse me. Please erase. Okay. I think I'll have to, unfortunately, go in here and like erase these sections myself. Oh, thank you so much for the follows. I'm sitting here like struggling. I'm like erase struggling here. See, it did erase some of the color here, though, unfortunately. I didn't want to do that. Let's draw that back in now. Okay. The bucket might be my best bet here. Or I guess what I didn't have to do was such detailed work. My bad. Oh goodness, I did erase those spaces up there. Okay. I'm creating so much work for myself. This is fine. This is fine. What did I decide up here? Nope, I decided that that was a color. I think. Yeah. Let's erase this here. And that. Erase in here. Okay. I think there we have the frame. And then have that. I do it correctly. Okay, and then I think hopefully this is going to do what I want to do. Too much mask. let's see, like this, and like that. Okay. There's something really basic like that. I don't know what color I want them to be, so let's go with white for now. I don't know why I'm insisting on color blocking right now, like I guess I just want to see it. Let's not do that. Do the girls here. Erase that, and then I kind of want to put want to put this... I did... if I did that, and then down here, I did... What is going on here? There. I did that, and then something like that, and then call this the background. Just do a powder blue for right now. Okay. We're gonna end there. Call that good. Okay. Let's go ahead and end there. I know I already said that. Saying again. Thank you guys so much for coming by. I keep saying I would like to do a gaming stream on Friday or Saturday. Again, I don't know if I will this week. I haven't been feeling very well, but I still really want to do it, especially because we haven't done a gaming stream in like a really, really long time. If I don't do one this weekend, obviously an next stream should be on Tuesday. As long as I don't get sick again, there will be another art stream on Tuesday. Probably working on this because there's a deadline. If not, I don't know what I'll be working on. Maybe the project I keep saying I'll be doing. My special magical girl project. But yeah, again, thanks so much for coming by, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!